नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So dear devotees, thank you very much for discussing this beautiful verse. This is one of the very favorite verse. The benefit of hearing Krishna Katha and particularly his childhood pastimes. So, as just we were hearing from Prabhu Advaita Krishna, there are 6 things, that's right. Karana Ramyani, number 1, which may be for the karmi people. Mano Vigyani, which may be for the Gyanis. Na means Vahu and Prabhu means Sukdev Goswami. Tata Shranavato, if when somebody hears that, Apayati Arati. Apayati Arati. Arati. Rati means attachment. Arati means no attachment. Apayati means destroyed. So his non-attachment to hearing Krishna Katha disappears. With Trishna. This word, if you remember, first verse of prayers of Bhisham Dev, he says, Iti mati upakalpita vitrashana. Exactly this word is there. Vitrashana means there is no hankering for any material things. And mati means intelligence. Intelligence is completely purified. There is no hankering for anything. There is vitrashana. Sattvam cha shuddhet, and the existence is purified. Srila Prabhupada writes, heart is purified. Actually, our existence is our subtle body, actually, which takes us from one body to the other body. And this is made up of 4 things: mind, intelligence, false ego, and polluted consciousness. So everything has 2 parts. One is pure and other is impure. Pure mind, unpure mind. Friendly mind, unfriendly mind. The sati mati mukande, the pure intelligence attached to the lotus feet of Krishna, and the puranjani buddhi, the intelligence of puranj gratification in the body. And similarly, and there are 2 types of false ego. 2 types of false ego. The true ego that I am the servant of Krishna, and the false ego that I am master of this body and anything related to the body. And the polluted consciousness is bodily consciousness, and pure consciousness is Krishna consciousness. So these 4 things, when purified, that's called Shattvam cha Shuddhet. And what is the next result? The result is Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. Because then he will realize his Brahma Sokhyam Anantam, the unlimited happiness of Brahm. That is soul. And this verse, in one of the purport today we will see, Srila Prabhupada has given a wonderful purport to this verse. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatmana Sochati Nakangshit Sam Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. Very, very, very extraordinary purport we will see today. And then, when the heart is purified, then the Bhakti Harao. There are twice Hari has come. Hari has come in a second line, and Hari has also come in the second verse, third line. Bhakti Harao means devotion to the Supreme Lord, who take away all the troubles of a devotee and who gives so much love that he mana hare, he attract the mind of a devotee. And that devotee who has developed the bhakti of Hari, that is the only devotee who can really value the association of devotee or friendship of the devotee. And the word friendship of the devotee, when we see, you remember that Madhyam Adhikari is one who always have friendship with equal. That is the friendship only comes when somebody has developed, somebody has purified his existence and developed Hari Bhakti. Tadeva Haram, this is the garland. Means what is the garland? Garland is Hari Katha. Because when we wear that garland, then we will get all these 7 benefits. So I think you have read the Srila Prabhupada's purport, Chakravarti Pad's purport also. And I think this Laghu Vaishnava Toshani. Oh, so this Jiva Goswami also writing the result of hearing about the pastime beginning with his birth. Pastime means beginning his birth. Janam karam cha me divyam. Would produce rati. Rati means actually bhav bhakti. Experience those pastime as an udipan. Udipan means, udipana is one of the terminology used by which the attachment towards pastime of Krishna arouse in the heart. Udipan. You see peacock and you immediately think of Krishna. You see yellow color, you think of Krishna's, pitambar. You think of flute, you think of Krishna. So this is called udipan. He manifested the highest bliss. He manifested the highest bliss means Krishna, when hearing about pastime, hearing his pastime will manifest highest bliss, which is actually the symptom of rati or the bhav bhakti. Thus he begins asking, thus he again asks question in 3 verses. The topic are pleasure to the ears. Parikshit realizes their sweetness. Please speak of the pastime which are like the necklace on the heart. So, what is the necklace? Necklace of the pastime of the Supreme Lord. The previous chapter stated that hearing the childhood pastime will produce rati. Hearing of this goal, the highest result for devotees continually practicing hearing and chanting, Parikshit become filled with bliss. Realizing that the topics were a stimulus, this is Udipan, for himself, with great eagerness, fearing a change to other topic. In the 2 verses, he welcomed narration of the unlimited pastime of Krishna in order to request Sukdev to continue with more stories about Krishna. Bhagavan indicates the Lord endowed with all powers and qualities. Hari indicates the Lord who takes away all the suffering and faults. And Ishwar indicates the Lord who attracts the internal and external senses. Thus a person must serve him, otherwise he should be punished. The word Karna Ramyani and Manognani indicate the sweetness of Lord. O Master, endowed with all powers, you know all the conditions of our senses. Bhakti or prem to the Lord who attracts Harau, the people of Vraj, and me, Parikshit, appears, and friendship with the devotees, Tat Purusha, also appears. He makes the request. The mind has no inclination to hearing about Lord, and even if it has, there are various other desires. That is Trishna. Trishna means many desires. But hearing about Krishna vanquishes both disinclination and material desires. Arati, Upayati Arati, and Vitrishna. So these are the both words. Heart, the Sattvam, which means Antahakaran, or inner senses, which means actually subtle body, become purified. When the heart becomes pure because of the destruction of the impure impressions, these impressions are from many lifetimes. They are called sanskaras. It becomes capable of comprehending rasa. Rasa means sakha rasa, vatsalya rasa. And for this rasa, there are 5 things needed for the rasa to manifest. First is the sthai bhav, which means sakha rasa, vatsalya rasa, whichever one. And to this one rasa, when the 4 other stimulants when they act on this basic sthai bhav or ras, then the actually ras is produced. They are like sanchari bhav, voluntary and involuntary bhavas as sattvic bhava, and this udipana, all these things, they, when exert their influence on the sthai bhav, then ras is produced. This purification happens quickly by hearing all the pastime of Krishna, but more slowly in the case of hearing the pastime of avatars. Though I have little intelligence, this is what I think. This will become a conviction of you who have the greatest intelligence. Agree. This is the meaning of if you think like this, then tell these stories. This statement is made with great humility. Or the meaning can be now, do not hide these topics. This is the statement of humility mixed with joking. Garg Muni said, a person who with devotion hears Krishna's transcendental pastime become perfect and successful. Of this there is no doubt. Sri Sonik said, O sage, hearing from your mouth Sri Krishna's beautiful pastime, which are sweeter than nectar, we have now become successful. Now, this third verse we read and then we discuss about this subject which you have among yourself comprehended. Athanyadapi krishnasya tokacharitam adbhutam manusham lokam asadya tadjatim anurundhata. Atha, also, anyad, others, other pastime, api krishnasya, of Krishna, toka means childhood. Charitam means pastime. Adbhutam, they are very extraordinary, astonishing. Manusham lokam asadya, when he appears like a human child. And their tat jatim means acting like or imitating the human child. Jatim means of same nature. Anurudhat means imitating. Please describe other pastime of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appeared on this planet, Earth, imitating the human child and performing wonderful activities like killing Putna. Maharaj Parikshit requested Sukadeva Goswami to narrate other childhood pastime exhibited by Krishna while playing as a human child. The Supreme Personality of Godhead incarnate at different times in different planets and universes, and according to the nature of those places, he exhibits his unlimited potency. That a child sitting on the lap of his mother was able to kill the gigantic Putna is extremely wonderful for the inhabitant of this planet. But on the other planet, the inhabitants are more advanced, and therefore the pastime of Lord performs there are still more wonderful. Krishna's appearance on this planet like a human being makes us more fortunate than the demigods in the higher planets. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit was very much interested in hearing about him. Okay, now we can discuss something before we continue further.
Hare Krishna, Sarvabhauma Prabhu.
Yes.
Can I ask a question? Why Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna's appearance on this planet like a human being makes us more fortunate than demigods on the higher planets? He previously said that Krishna also manifests pastimes on the heavenly planets also. Why we are more fortunate?
Why we are more fortunate? That's a good question. Krishna appeared on heavenly planet as Vaman Dev to benefit Indra, and also some other incarnation he do appear there. But what Srila Prabhupada is writing actually is the appearance of Krishna, particularly once in the one day of Brahma, is the greatest boon for the fortunate people on the earthly planet where he has more childhood pastime like this. On other planets, there are no childhood pastime, mostly. He just appeared like a Vaman, then he went to the there. There was no any childhood pastime of the Vaman, they were something else. Lord Ramachandra and Krishna only born two, these appears on this planet and they act the pastime which are relating to us, that we can relate to these pastime and we can learn from these pastime that why can't we have this type of relation with Krishna? Why can't we be friend with Krishna? Why can't we be the mother and father maternally affection for Krishna? So basically Krishna appears here to give us this a relationship to which relationship in this world are cause of our bondage. When such relationship are directed towards Krishna, which may be master, which may be a friend, which may be mother, father, or which may be lover, or which may be any other, that is the highest boon for the human beings. Therefore, even demigods in a fifth canto, are praying that if we have any pious activities still left, then please give us chance to be born on earthly planet and Bharatvarsh and chant holy name and hear Krishna's pastime and get bliss. So even, and then Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, if you remember in 11th chapter, he said, Deva api kankshati, the demigods want to see this form of Krishna. And in Krishna Leela, if you calculate, enumerate, almost 8 great demigods were bewildered by Krishna. Right from the Brahma to the Lord Shiva in Dwarka Leela. In between Indra, Varuna, Kamadev, even Vishnu, he wanted to see Krishna. So Krishna, when appears on this earth planet, everybody is astonished, even demigods, they want to actually, they are bewildered, they want to relish this pastime. This 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you remember, Manusham Rupam Somyam Tav Janardam, and then it says, Deva api kankshati, the demigods are eagerly hankering to see this form. Is it okay?
Yes, thank you.
Anybody else has what? The 7 benefit, I think this is one of the topics basically for the devotees, which is most important, that hearing Krishna Katha is so beneficial. Actually, distaste decreases, attachment, the other desire disappears, mind becomes peaceful, ears, it is very sweet to the ears, and the most important is heart is purified. Then only the Hari Bhakti will manifest. And then last is Tad Purusha Sakhyam. It means how much important is the association of devotee or friendship with the devotees. Tad Haram. So the pastime of Sri Krishna are garland. Everybody should wear that garland all the times. And Srila Prabhupada therefore wanted all the devotees every day to hear or to read Krishna book or to hear Krishna book before retiring. Somehow this is standing out of Prabhupada, but hardly few person may be practicing this. Anybody has to say something? Yes, your hand is up.
Hare Krishna.
Param Karuna's hand is up.
Yes, Guru. Thank you. Guru, first question is pleasing to the ear and the mind. So, how is it pleasing to the ear? Where does one feel the pleasure in the ear?
Pleasing to the ear is sweet to hear. The word used by the Acharya is sweetness. If you remember, the Parikshat Maharaj said the another verse in the first chapter. Nivarta Trishai Upagiya Mana Shrot Manobhirama. Shrot means hearing, and Manobhirama, Rama means giving pleasure to the mind. So, like, people like some song, some different type of songs, and they are bathing, they have some songs, they sing something like that, because such type of song, they give very sweet note to the ears, and it attracts the minds toward that side. So like the people who are attracted to the worldly songs, now the people are attracted to Krishna's bhajan, Krishna's beautiful pastime narrated as bhajan. Usually for us, these are the verses which are difficult. But for those who at that time knowing this language, this was all a poetry. This is all a poetry which is very pleasing to the ear. Like the beautiful song. These are all songs, Gopi's song. These songs are very pleasing to the ear. Is it okay?
Technically, isn't that experience in the heart or in the mind, whatever the pleasure is?
Actually, hearing, when we say hearing, it has three parts. Hearing only, then understanding, and then practicing. So hearing, understanding, contemplating, and practicing. So hearing has all three parts. So ultimately, if you hear some song which is in a language you don't know, you will not relish. It may be song, maybe the music you can relish, but words of the song you cannot relish. So ultimately, until unless you don't understand, you cannot relish. Therefore, next is manovigyani. It means when mind is applied to the words, then the mind becomes actually very pleasant. It becomes very jubilant, because here he understands, mind understands. And then there is a transformation of the heart, third stage. And then that is the sattvam cha shuddhyate. This will come 1, 2, 3 like that. Hearing, understanding, heart change of the internal transformations. They take place 1, 2, 3 like that. Yes, Prabhu Shama Kishore.
Well, I also had another question. It's okay.
Oh, somebody else has before that hand? I can see only one.
I also had another question, if it's okay.
Oh, continue.
Yes. Prabhu, there's two kinds of cleansing mentioned here, Vitrishna and also Suddhyati. What's the difference between the two?
The first is the desires in the mind, and second are actually the consciousness is purified. The inner heart is purified. So beginning from the Vitrishna means the material desires. And the Sattvam Jashuddhet means heart is purified. So Cheto Darpan Marjan, that is like consciousness is purified. Okay. Yes, Sham Prabhu?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I want to just repeat the question which I had asked just some time back. Specifically, what is the significance or glories of Bal Gopal, of listening to the Katha of Bal Gopal? We know, of course, like we are talking about like benefit of listening to Krishna Katha, but is there some special benediction when it comes to being attracted to Bal Gopal?
The thing is that every human being, what to speak of human being, when they see a baby, maybe puppy, maybe even deer, or the cat, the babies everybody likes. This is very natural. This is a human psychology. So when the Krishna's pastime as a baby, that childhood pastime are more attractive and relishing, because this is attract to our psychology, because this is a human psychology. Everybody likes anybody's child you see, you want to really smile, you want to touch. This is natural. So Krishna's pastime are divine, and they are more attractive and more sweet, because this is actually appealing to our psychology and our nature. All other pastimes are also very good. Like Bhisham Pitama has more interest in Krishna's, Veer Ras, his fighting pastime. So there are some devotees, they have a different, liking. But generally, everybody likes childhood pastime. Somebody else?
Very nice, Prabhu. Dhaja.
Somebody else has some.
Another thing, Prabhu, I can add, which something Prabhu said a few minutes ago. The childhood pastime is not available in other incarnations of the Lord. Only Ram and Krishna
And Ram.
The incarnation of childhood pastime.
Yeah, but Ram's pastime are also just like human, not extraordinary, something astonishing, nothing like that. That one purport will come. Yeah. I mean, these are not available on other planets also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. The other Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Adi Leela, chapter 3, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he is explaining that the very reason that Krishna comes is because he hasn't given these rasas and exhibited these rasas in any other pastime except in the Braja Leela pastime, and therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then there's a verse that says that when Krishna left, he felt, well, it's going to be very difficult for all of us to actually develop this kind of relationship with the Supreme Lord, because generally in the age of Kali, he said that we're going to worship Krishna with sadhana bhakti. So therefore he said that people will worship me according to scriptural injunctions, but simply following such regulatory principles, one cannot attain the loving sentiments of the devotees in Braja, because they'll be interested in more of the opulence and worship him in awe and reverence. And then following that, in text 18, he says, therefore, I appear and inaugurate the Sankirtan movement so that we can actually develop Braja Bhakti.
What
if you read the connection, because without the Sankirtan movement, we cannot develop the Braja Bhakti, which is explained external reasons, chapter 3 of Adi Leela. Mahaprabhu explains.
I think
unless we have,
what you are saying is, even Vasudeva and Devaki have not relished the childhood pastimes. So they are only basically available for Raganoga practice. There is only in Brij, nowhere else.
Yeah.
This pastime only happen in Brij. That's what it means actually.
Yes.
That's what nobody else has given before, and it was not available anywhere else. That's right. So we can continue further. Chakravarti Pad is ranking in this and in his enthusiasm, Parikshat repeat his request to clarify his intention, being requested by mankind. The Lord appeared on the earth rather than being requested by demigods and appear on Swarg. In this way, Krishna especially blessed the human on earth. I have not been fully satisfied. Speak other pastime of his boyhood. What's the form of Lord in your mind? This is the question is asked in Laghu Vaishnav Toshani. If Sukdev is asking Parikshat, what is the form of Lord in your mind? Without delay or introduction, now, Atha, speak the childhood pastime of Krishna, Toka Charitam. Toka Charitam, Tok means child, who attract the heart by his sweet pastimes. He explained that pastimes are astonishing because they have sweetness of form, sweetness of qualities, sweetness of what is called this coquetry, and pastime sometimes mixed with inconceivable powers, Krishna has made these pastimes visible to give mercy to us humans, descending to the human world. He identified himself completely with his pastime. Tajatim, tajatim. This jatim word. Anybody remember this type of word? Jatim somewhere else. Devotee association. For devotee association, there is a word. Anybody remember in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu?
Swajatim.
Snigdha sajatiya.
Jatim.
Snigdha sajatiya means like-minded. Generally, it's like-minded people. Those who are Vatsalya Bhakt, they should be together discussing Vatsalya pastime. Those who are Sakha Bhakta, the friendship, they discuss friendship pastime. So that is called sajatiya. So Krishna here, sajatiya means just like human child. And Sanatana Goswami writes, the childhood pastime of Krishna are also of his nature, of this nature. For this reason, describe the childhood of pastime of Krishna, who is directly Bhagavan. After he killed Putana, they are amazing, though they are actions of a small child, showing great power and sweetness. He appeared in the material world or with a human form, accepting or respecting birth as a cowherd. Jatim. So Chakravarti Panav, Sanatana Goswami is saying Jati means cowherd. It means these pastimes are only in Braj, which means they are ragatmik pastimes to attract the ragatmik bhakta. Indestructible with the higher rasa, indescribable with highest rasa. Or he respected all the cowherd people. Though he was Supreme Lord, by his infant pastime, he controlled them all by spreading prema, love. Or he was astonishing because even a small child, he displayed power of the Lord. Or please describe the childhood pastime of Krishna who attracts all hearts. Hari. These pastimes are most bewildering, adhbhutam. Verse number 4 to 17. This section says Uthan ceremony, including killing of Saktasur. So what is Uthan ceremony? Anybody can say what is Uthan ceremony?
When Krishna turns around on his belly and like that.
When the child on his own turns his body and try to sit to or raise his hand or head and something like that, there's Uthan means he's trying to stand. Sit, something like that. So that's called Uthan ceremony. And just after that ceremony, the newly born baby is taken out from the home first time, after a month of Uthan ceremony. This is the Vedic system. And Prabhupada has a wonderful purport on this. Sri Shuka Uvacha. Sukdev Goswami started. Without any introduction, he was also too enthusiastic to speak Krishna's pastime. So he said, Kadachida authanikah kautuka palave janmaraksha yoga samveta joshitam vaditara gita dveja mantra vachakaish Chakara shono abhisechanam sati. Sati is Yashoda. Kadachin means once. Once means when Krishna was 3 months old. So Sutta Goswami said when Mother Yashoda, Sati, when Yashoda's baby was slanting his body to attempt to rise and turn around, that is called Uthan. This attempt was observed by Vedic ceremony. In such a ceremony called adhyan, which is performed when child is due to leave the house for the first time, the child is properly bathed just after Krishna turned 3 months old. Mother Yashoda celebrated this ceremony with a other woman of the neighborhood. On that day, there was a conjunction of the moon with constellation Rohini. That's called, in a Rohini, moon was entering in Rohini. That is Krishna's birth star. As the Brahmins joined by chanting the Vedic hymns and professional musicians also took part, this great ceremony was observed by Mother Yashoda, Sati. Srila Prabhupada said there is no question of overpopulation or of children being a burden for their parents in a Vedic society. Such a society is so well organized and people are so advanced in the spiritual consciousness that childbirth is never regarded as a burden or a botheration. The more a child grows, the more his parents become jubilant, and the child's attempt to turn over are also a source of jubilation. Even before child is born, when the mother is pregnant, many recommended ritualistic ceremonies are performed. For example, when the child has been within the womb for 3 months and for 7 months, there is a ceremony the mother observes by eating with neighboring children. This ceremony is called Swad Bhakshan. Swada means taste, Bhakshan means eating food. Similarly, before birth of the child, there is Garbhadan Sanskar or ceremony. In the Vedic civilization, childbirth or pregnancy is never regarded as a burden, rather it is the cause of jubilation. Now Prabhupada is preaching. In contrast, people in modern civilization do not like pregnancy or childbirth. And when there is a child, they sometimes kill it. We can just consider how human society has fallen since the inauguration of Kali Yuga. Although people still claim to be civilized, at the present moment there is actually no human civilization, but only an assembly of two-legged animals. What do you think?
Prabhuji?
Yes.
Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji. It's, no offenses to anybody. In devotees also, I have seen devotees also have 1 or 2 children.
I have 6.
That's so wonderful. I aspired for 10, but ended up with 3 only. But, this is what Prabhupada says,
There are, I think Bhakti Vinod Thakur has almost a dozen or something like that. Even Prabhupada has 4 or 5. Anyway, before 60, every house has at least 4, 5, 6 brothers, sisters like that. After that, the trend is changing, and now there is a one word I see here sometime, Dink family. You know what is Dink family? Double income, no kids. Dink family means double income, husband and wife both work and earn, no kids. Why should we spend money on the children? Let's enjoy, and that is the end. This type of propaganda is going on, and devotees are also somehow under the influence of the modern civilizations. You are right. It's I'm personally, in my preaching, this is my slogan that in future there will be scarcity of the saintly people and devotees, because you have only one child to whom we will make devotee. Therefore, if any devotee invite me for the marriage ceremony, I just ask him to write a bond that first child you will give to the Krishna or Prabhupada, at least you give couple children to the ISKCON. So we need children, but still we are not ready yet. We don't have that infrastructure to really train the children from the very beginning. When the children, the other community, they train them as a terrorist, why can't we train them as a great devotee? Dhruva was 5, Prahlad was 5, And the great hero, Abhimanyu, was 16 and they were the heroes of their time. So why can't we make the children like that? So this is a good challenge for this generation of Krishna consciousness, that we should have more children and we should really make those children beautiful, very wonderful devotees for 10,000 years for Mahaprabhu's golden era. We should be more liberal. You are right.
Thank you, Guruji.
So kadachit means sometimes, which means this incident took place when Krishna was 3 months old. And this is in second canto of Bhagvatam, 7th chapter, verse 27, where the word is used traimasikasya, when he was 3 months. Chapad shakto apravrtaha. By his lotus feet he has broken the cart. So we are going to the. So pleased by Parikshit's words, Sukdev began describing in order Krishna's childhood pastime. This event happened, this we know, Traimasika, same word. And it was when Mohan was in Rohini, Nakshtar. So the event was a bath on occasion of his rising himself from the bed. Some say this referred to going outside, but that ceremony occurs during the 4th month according to the scripture and is calculated according to the solar calendar. So this is Laghu Vaishnav Toshni says, first time child goes out of the house when he is 4 months old. And that is calculated according to the according to the solar calendar, not lunar calendar. Yashoda was attached to this ceremony out of affection, since Krishna was her only son. Yashoda, Sati, was expert in all ceremonies. Since this was the ceremony predominantly for women, Yashoda did this rather than Nanda, who had done the previous birth ceremony. Means, what is birth ceremony means? Nanda Utsav. Verse number 5. After completing the bathing ceremony for child, Mother Yashoda received the Brahmans by worshipping them with proper respect and giving them ample of food, grains and other eatables, clothing, desirable cows and garlands. The Brahman properly chanted Vedic hymns to observe the auspicious ceremony. And when they finished and Mother Yashoda saw that child felt sleepy, she lay down on the bed with the child until he was peacefully asleep. An affectionate mother takes great care of her child and is always anxious to see that child is not disturbed even for a moment. This is very much observed in certain families. I remember that somebody invited us to their home, but they wanted to bless the newly born baby. And then after an hour, the phone came that now this time is not suitable because baby is sleeping. So that program was cancelled. And after 2 hours or 3 hours, they said, no, baby is up. Please kindly come. I remember. So this is, some people really take care of the child very properly. And Yashoda was in that mood. As long as the child wants to remain with the mother stays with the child and the child feels very comfortable. Mother Yashoda saw that her child felt sleepy. And to give him all facility to sleep, she lay down with the child. And when he was peaceful, she got up to attend to her other household affairs. Supujitai, after being honored by gift of rice, cloth, money, the Brahman performed auspicious birth rites. Because Krishna had sleepy eyes, Sanjata Nidraksha, Aksha means eye, Nidra means sleep. He was put to rest. For fear that Krishna might wake up, Yashoda held him in her lap without moving. Then she lay down with her beloved son on the cart under a cart. It means she was lying down there under the cart, situated in the spacious courtyard. Upon understanding that Krishna was fast asleep, Yashoda got up very slowly and carefully without waking Krishna up. It should be understood that she had the permission and assistance of Nanda. Since he was broad-minded, Nanda is Mahamana. Krishna, then the rest is the same thing. But the couple things are there. Auspicious activities like Swasti Vachanam was performed. The Brahmins were honored with food, utensils. Some version says adhyan, which means ghee, as well as cloth, garland and gem, and the object dear to the gopis are the Brahmins and cows. The phrase can also read Abhishta dhenu vihi. She then put him in bed. Okay, next verse. The liberated mother Yashoda. The very nice word is there, liberated mother Yashoda. Manasvini. Authanika kautsakya mana manasvi samagatam pujyati vrjaukasaha. So this is something about mother, the good, what is called, adjective used for Mother Yashoda. Liberal Mother Yashoda, absorbed in celebrating the Uttan ceremony, was busy receiving guests, worshipping them with all respect and offering them clothing, cows, garland and grains. Thus she could not hear the child crying for his mother. At that time, the child Krishna demanding to drink the milk of his mother's breast, angrily threw his legs upward. Srila Prabhupada writes, Krishna had been placed underneath a household hand cart. But this hand cart was actually another form of Shakta Asur. Asur means demon, who had come here to kill the child. Now, on the plea of demanding this to suck his mother's breast, Krishna took this opportunity to kill the demon. Thus, he kicked Saktasur just to expose him. Although Krishna's mother was engaged in receiving guests, Krishna wanted to draw her attention by killing the Saktasur, and therefore he kicked card-shaped demon. Such are the pastime of Krishna. Krishna wanted to draw the attention of his mother, but while doing so, he created a great havoc, not understandable by ordinary persons. These narrations are wonderfully enjoyable. Prabhupada is writing because he is wonderfully enjoying. Once on Janmashtami in New Vrindavan, Prabhupada wanted till 12 o'clock, midnight, everybody should read Krishna book. And after 10, most of the sannyasi with the danda in hand were almost sleeping. Only Prabhupada was eagerly and enthusiastically relishing the pastime. So actually when Prabhupada is writing, he is relishing, not everybody. These narrations are wonderfully enjoyable, and those who are fortunate are struck with wonder upon hearing of these extraordinary activities of Krishna. Although the less intelligent regard them as mythological because a dull brain cannot understand them. They are real facts. These narrations are actually so enjoyable and enlightening that Maharaj Parikshit and Sukhdev took pleasure in them. The other liberated person following in their footsteps become fully jubilant by hearing about wonderful activities of Krishna. What do you think, Prabhus? And both male and female Prabhus, are we really jubilantly hearing these pastime and relishing this sweetness?
Prabhuji, in my case, I don't, because I think I know the pastime.
Unless there is some speaker who makes it really very animate, I feel, oh, I know this, and I will be like, oh, distracted.
Then you see this pastime. When you hear from ears, now you see the pastime. The presentation of pastime should be in a way that at that time, Leela actually means you are completely absorbed. You forget where you are. You are right at the place where the pastime is taking place, and you are actually seeing that pastime. Then only you relish it. It may appear every day, then you will relish it, provided if you have the eyes to see. So most of the time, I speak on this pastime, its eyes goes automatically closed, and you see this pastime and you speak like it's like a continuous picture going in front of your eyes. Then only you can relish. I mean, this is for personal application actually. One day, if we are wise, Prabhupada said, if we are not really, the Prabhupada has used very tough words. Less intelligent regard this. We are not less. We are not dull brains, but real fact, they are actually so enjoyable and enlightening. What do you think? Are they so enjoyable and enlightening?
Yes, Prabhu. For me, not this baby Krishna's childhood pastimes. Actually, every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, I am enjoying jubilantly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. You are liberated, Mataji. Jai. Anybody else has a comment? Well, I gave you example. The big sannyasis, when Krishna book was read, only Prabhupada was relishing, not many big devotees, because this taste is very, very high. Anybody has any comment on this?
I am having the same issue that Sundari Mataji said.
Right.
That these first times and it's like when Parikshit Maharaj is hearing for the first time, or he probably knew, just hearing it over and over. But for me, I'm so contaminated that I don't develop the ecstasy one should develop when you hear these pastimes.
Right.
Because of
that's what therefore I asked this question. And Prabhupada has written all these pastimes. He spoke 100 times on, like Mahaprabhu was hearing 100 times through Maharaj's pastime and Prahlad Maharaj's pastime. Every time he was relishing because he has a different taste for these pastimes. How much determined was Dhruva Maharaj to have audience of Supreme Lord, even not with pure devotion. If we have a fraction of that type of determination, our life will be successful. And how much Prahlad was tolerating all the troubles and not budging a centimeter from his devotion. So Mahaprabhu 100 times heard these pastime, means every 3 months almost he was hearing that. So, therefore I asked this question, when Srila Prabhupada is writing this, he's writing his own realization. He's saying liberated person can only relish. So he's giving us actually incentive that one day we should relish these pastimes. Actually, when we can only relish when these pastime manifest in our heart. We see this pastime within the core of our heart. Then we will actually relish these pastimes. Because Yashoda was busy exchanging pleasantries and giving ornament, garlands, chandan oil and sindur to the village ladies who had assembled for the festival, and she did not hear Krishna crying from hunger. Sthana arthi. Sthana means breast, arthi means he would desire to, he was hungry, he wanted to have milk of mother. Upon his awakening, when he was sleeping, then he woke up. In anger, Krishna kicked his legs upward while thinking, since you cannot hear my crying, maybe the sound of the card breaking will catch your attention. The another word used for this pastime is called nirodh. Nirodh means you completely forget anything of this world. Simply you are fully absorbed in Krishna. That's the one meaning of nirodh. The reason that Yashoda did not hear Krishna crying was her attention, manaswini, care, skill and faith in worshipping the guest, since she had a generous heart. She was anxious that all the actions were done properly at the special celebration of her son rising from bed. Thus she worshipped the assembled people of Vrij with sandalwood and ornaments. The children who came there were kept at Krishna's side. These are the children, they have seen actually Krishna, and they will tell the truth and nobody will believe them. She did not hear him cry at all, Vai indicating certainty, like an oath. Otherwise she would have come giving up remaining duties. Wanting milk, he cried. Krishna was crying for milk. Since she was not there and kicked his feet in air, this amply described the action of an infant. According to the Brahmanda Purana, he did this to kill the demon within the cart. Let that be, because as the Lord, he has the natural power to resolve everything. He cried because he wanted his mother's milk, and this accomplished his purpose, killing the demon. So killing the demon was not important. That was secondary, it's automatic. Keeping in mind Krishna's infant nature, Sukdev was describing him in this way. Krishna was absorbed in his infant pastime, controlled by parental affection. Since his nature is to be controlled by the particular type of love within his devotee, lokavata leelaha kevalyacha. And we see in the world the Lord's motive is sport, Brahma Sutra. He is coming here for kirda. Kirda means sporting. So verse number 7. Lord Sri Krishna was lying down underneath a hand cart in one corner of the courtyard, and although his little legs were as soft as leaves, palva, when he struck the cart with his leg, it turned over violently and collapsed. The wheels separated from the axle. The hubs and the spokes fell apart, and the pole of the hand cart broke. On the cart, there was many little utensils made of various metals, and all of them scattered hither and thither. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Hare Krishna, has commented on this verse as follows. When the Lord Krishna was a very tender age, his hands and legs resembled soft new leaves. Yet simply by touching the hand cart with his legs, he made the cart fall to pieces. It was quite possible for him to act in this way and yet not exert himself very much. The Lord in his Vaman avatar had to extend his foot to the greatest height to penetrate the covering of the universe. And when the Lord killed the gigantic demon Hiranyakashipu, he had to assume the special bodily feature of Nrsimhadev. But in his Krishna avatar, he did not need to exert any energy, such energy. Therefore, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. In other incarnation, the Lord had to exert some energy according to the time and circumstances. But in this form, he exhibited unlimited potency. Thus, the hand cart collapsed in its joint broken, and all the metal parts and utensils scattered. The Vaishnava Toshani remarks that Although the handcart was higher than the child could easily touch the wheel of the cart, and this was sufficient to send the demon down to earth. The Lord simultaneously pushed the demon to the earth and superficially broke the cart. Now, Chakravarti Prabhupada has already quoted, so we are escaping that. Krishna just touched the cart with a gesture of kicking it using one foot, which was soft like a new plant and which was very small, as he lay in a small bed beneath the axle of the huge cart outside the house. So, next verse number 8. Now the result, what happened to the ladies inside? Drishtva Yashoda Parmukha Brajastriya, all the ladies, but especially Mother Yashoda. Authanika Karmani Yaha Samagata, those who came for this festival. Nanda, this, and also the male people, Nanda and other Gopas, they also saw this adhbhut. Why, this is astonishing. Darshana kulaha. Katham swayam vai shaktam viprya. How this has broken suddenly, all of a sudden, when the Mother Yashoda and other ladies who had assembled for the Uthan festival and all of the men, headed by Nanda Baba, saw the wonderful situation, they began to wonder how the handcart has collapsed by itself. They began to wander here and there, trying to find the cause, but were unable to do so. It says Krishna is Rasraj. Krishna is Rasraj, reservoir of all pleasure. And on the top of the cart were the utensil in which there was goras. Goras means the milk, yogurt, ghee. So Krishna says, I am Rasraj, and on the top of me, why they are keeping Ras, so let the Ras go down and let them show that I am Rasraj. And Krishna thought, well, this ceremony is for my Uthan. I am just crying here and they are enjoying inside. Let me do some leela that they should come here. You know? So the Ras Raj, so all the Ras, go Ras, the cow, all the cow products were kept in those utensils. So they are on the top of Krishna. The Krishna become angry. I am Ras Raj. Why they are on the top of me? I have to throw them down. So these are the certain other commentaries by the Samacharyas on this pastime. And who was this Saktasura? Before we read, anybody can say who was the Saktasura? He was a demon by name Utkach. And once, in a previous life, he was son of Hiranyaksha, the elder brother of Hiranyakashipu. And he went to the ashram of Lomas Rishi. There he was cutting the trees and destroying the forest. So Rishi became very angry. He said, you go and live without body in air. Then he came to the senses and requested Lomas Rishi, please forgive me. He's a saintly person, they curse, but they also give benediction. He said, all right, now you can have an airy body. This is the sixth Manvantar now, Chaksus. In a seventh Manvantar, when Vivasvat Manvantar will come, Krishna will appear, and by touch of his lotus feet, you will be liberated. So though he gave curse, but he also liberated him. And Saktasura, when he was liberated, he was taken in a chariot back to the spiritual world. So this is the past life of Saktasura. His name is Utkach, and he had this. And then he was the instrument for Kansa, and Kansa sent him for that purpose. Verse number 9.
Well, he was a ghostly figure, right?
Yeah, he was a ghostly figure, because everybody means ghost.
Yeah.
The assembled coward men and ladies began to contemplate how this thing had happened. Is it the work of some demon or evil planet? They asked. At that time, the small children present asserted that the card had been kicked apart by the baby Krishna. As soon as the crying baby had kicked the card's wheel, the card had collapsed, and there was no doubt about it. But nobody believes. Prabhupada writes, we have heard of peoples being hunted by ghosts, having no grass material body. A ghost seeks the shelter of a grass body to stay in and hunt. The Saktasur was a ghost. His name was, just I told you, Kach, who had taken shelter of the hand cart and was looking for the opportunity to do mischief to Krishna. When Krishna kicked the cart with his small and very delicate legs, one leg actually, the ghost was immediately pushed down to the earth and his shelter dismantled, as already described. Now, a couple purports are like that. Though the cart was very high, but when demon entered in, the cart was just the wheels, the wheels of the cart, they went in the earth, and it was easy for Krishna to touch to the axle. So this is the commentary by two Acharya like that. This was possible for Krishna because he has full potency, as confirmed in Brahma Santa. Angani yasya sakalendriya virti manti pashyanti. So, the other thing, Krishna's body is Satchidananda Vigraha or Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Vigraha. That any part of his body, of his Ananda Chinmaya body, can act for any other part. Such are the inconceivable potencies of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord does not need to acquire these potencies. He already has them. Thus Krishna kicked his little legs, and his whole purpose was fulfilled. Also, when hand cart broke, an ordinary child could have been injured in many ways. But because Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, he enjoyed the dismantling of the cart, and nothing injured him. Everything done by his Ananda Chinmaya Ras, full transcendental bliss. Thus Krishna factually enjoyed this pastime. The nearby children saw that actually Krishna had kicked the wheel of the cart, and this was how the accident happened. By the arrangement of Yoga Maya, all the gopis and gopas thought that the accident had taken place because of some bad planet or some ghost, but in fact everything was done by Krishna and is enjoyed by him. Those who enjoy the activities of Krishna are also on the platform of Anand Chinmaya Ras. They are liberated from the material platform. When one develops a practice of hearing Krishna Katha, he is certainly transcendental to the material existence, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Sagunan samataitetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Unless one is on the spiritual platform, one cannot enjoy the transcendental activities of Krishna. Or in other words, whoever engages in hearing and the transcendental activities of Krishna is not on the material platform, but on the transcendental spiritual platform. So to know the activities of Krishna, who is beyond three modes of material nature, the devotee has to transcend three modes of material nature to relish that. So this is the reason we are not at that stage right now, but hoping in one day we can be. We shall be, that can be, we shall be. Okay, next verse says, assembled gopis and gopas, unaware that Krishna is always unlimited, and could not believe that baby Krishna had such inconceivable power. They could not believe the statement of children, and therefore they neglected this statement as being childish talk. The coward who had full paternal sentiment did not believe the children because of too much love for Krishna. They all had complete knowledge since they were very dear to Supreme Lord. However, they did not perceive Krishna's unlimited power, a parmeyam, because the Supreme Lord cannot be measured, and particularly in this case, he was revealing his childhood pastime and thus hid his powers. Thus, they did not believe the words of the children. The word te is mentioned twice to indicate another cause. They were overcome with bliss of prem, by which they took Krishna as their son. The prem covers everything else. Similarly, Balaram is describing being overcome by the prem. This is another episode. Balaram heard about these preparation of inimical kings and how Krishna had set off alone to steal the bride. He feared that the fight would ensue. Immersed in affection for his brother, he hurried to Kondni. It means for this, in case of Rukmani, with a mighty army consisting of infantry and soldiers riding on the elephant, horses and chariots. Why? Out of love for Krishna. He knows nothing can happen to Krishna. Next verse, 11. Rudantam sutamadaya yashoda graha sankita kirtaswastiyanam viprahi sukatahi stanam apayata. Thinking that some bad planet had attacked Krishna, Mother Yashoda picked up the crying child and allowed him to suck her breast. Then she called for experienced Brahmins to chant Vedic hymns and perform an auspicious ritualistic ceremony. Prabhupada writes, whenever there is some danger or some inauspicious occurrence, it is the custom of Vedic civilization to have qualified Brahmins immediately chant Vedic hymns to counteract it. Mother Yashoda did this properly and allowed the baby to suck her breast. Yashoda had the Brahmins perform Swasthayanam, chanting mantra to ward off the demons. Same thing, verse number 12. After the strong, stout, coward men assembled the parts and paraphernalia on the hand cart and set it up as before. The Brahmins performed ritualistic ceremony with a fire sacrifice to appease the bad planet, and then with rice, grain, kush, water and yogurt they worshipped the Supreme Lord. They worshipped the Supreme Lord, they also worshipped the cart. The hand cart was loaded with heavy utensils and other paraphernalia. To set the cart back in its original position required much strength, but this was easily done by the coward men. Then, according to the system of Gopajati, various Vedic ceremonies were performed to appease the calamitous situation. The cart was repaired and placed in the original position by some strong coward men. This proved that the cart was very large. The coward men worshipped the cart because cart was one of their main possessions, being the abode of Lakshmi and the storehouse of their accumulated wealth. So cart was worshipable for them, and they worshipped the cart. Lagu Vaishnotoshni. This verse shows the Brahmins also were unaware of Krishna's powers. Since a strong coward set the cart properly, it is understood that cart must have been large and heavy. This was indicated previously in the quotation from Brahmanda Puran, that this was like a big tall tree. Again, Yashoda placed Krishna beneath the cart without fear. The Brahman performed a graha home. Graha means house and home means yajna. For general protection using ghee and Vedic mantra like Bhubha Swaha in order to eliminate insecurity, and then worship the cart by sprinkling water with kush along with rice mixed with yogurt, since the cart was main shelter of cowards. Now 3 verses together, 13, 14, 15. Ye asoya dambher dambha irsha hinsa mana vivarjita natesham satyashilanam asisho vipalakrita iti balakamadaya samagayajo upakritai jalaihi pavitra aushadadibihi abhisich dveja uttamaihi vachaytvaha swastyayanam nanda gopa samahitah hutva chagnim dvejatibhya Vyaha pradata anna mahagunan. Then Brahmans, when Brahmans are free from envy, this purport is very extraordinary by Prabhupada. I think this purport we will finish, then we may start tomorrow. When Brahmans are free from envy, untruthfulness, unnecessary pride, grudges, disturbances by the opulence of others and false prestige, their blessing never go in vain. Considering this, Nanda Maharaj soberly took Krishna on his lap and invited such truthful Brahmins to perform ritualistic ceremony according to the holy hymns of Sam Veda, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda. Then, while the hymns were being chanted, he bathed the child with water mixed with the pure herbs, and after performing a fire ceremony, he sumptuously fed all the Brahmins with first-class grains and other foods. Nanda Maharaj was very confident about the qualification of Brahmana and their blessing. He was fully confident that simply if the good Brahman showered their blessing, the child Krishna would be happy. The blessing of qualified Brahman can bring happiness not only to Krishna, the Supreme Person of Godhead, but to everyone. Because Krishna is self-sufficient. He does not require anyone's blessing. Yet Nanda Maharaj thought that Krishna required blessing of Brahmana. What then to be said of the others? In human society, therefore, there must be an ideal class of men, Brahman, who can bestow blessing upon others, namely upon Kshatriya, upon Vaishyas, upon Shudras, so that everyone will be happy. Krishna therefore says in Bhagavad Gita that human society must have 4 orders, Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam. It is not that everyone should become Shudra or Vaishya and human society will prosper. No. He enunciated in Bhagavad Gita, there must be a class of Brahman with qualities like Satya, truthfulness, Shama, peacefulness, Dhamma, self-control, and Titiksha, tolerance. Here also in Bhagvatam, Nanda Maharaj invite qualified Brahma. There may be a caste Brahmana, and we have all respect for them, but their birth in Brahman family does not mean that they are qualified Brahman to bestow blessing upon the other members of the human society. This is the verdict of the shastra. In the Kali Yuga, caste Brahmans are accepted as Brahman. Viprattave sutram vai evahi, 12th canto of Bhagavatam. In Kali Yuga, simply by putting on a sacred thread worth of 2 paisa, one become Brahmana. Such Brahmans were not called for by Nanda Maharaj. As stated by Narada Muni in Srimad Bhagavatam 7:11:35, Yasya yallo lakshanam proktam. The symptom of Brahman are stated in Shastra, and one must be qualified with these symptoms. The blessing of the Brahmans who are not envious, disturbed or puffed up with pride and false prestiges, who are fully qualified with truthfulness will be useful. Therefore, the class of men must be trained as Brahmanas from the very beginning. Brahmachari Guru Kule Vasandanto Guru Hitam. The word Danta is very important. Danta refers to one who is not envious, disturbing or puffed up with false prestige. With the Krishna conscious movement, add in the list, we are trying to introduce such Brahmans in society. Brahman must ultimately be Vaishnava. And if one is Vaishnava, he has already acquired the qualification of Brahman. Now this is the meaning of Brahmbhuta. See, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. The word Brahma Bhuta refers to the become a Brahman. And understanding what is Brahman, Brahma Janati Brahmana. One who knows Brahma is Brahman. One who is a Brahma Bhuta is always happy. Prasannatma. Na sochati na kankshati. He is never disturbed about material necessities. Samasarveshu bhuteshu. He is always ready to bestow blessing upon everyone equally. Mad bhaktim labhate param. This is the good meaning. This means then he becomes Vaishnava. See? Brahma Bhuta is Brahman and bhaktim labhate param is a Vaishnava. Have you ever heard this type of explanation of this verse before? It's a very special, different angle of explanation of this verse. Brahman is Brahma Bhuta and Mad Bhaktim Labhate is Vaishnava. So Vaishnava is automatically Brahmana. In this stage,
Does it mean one becomes a Brahmana only after becomes a Vaishnava only after achieving Brahma Bhuta stage?
Right. That's what means when actually he is beyond three modes of material nature, actually. In this age, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur introduced the sacred thread ceremony for his Vaishnava disciples with the idea that people should understand that when one becomes a Vaishnava, he has already acquired a qualification of Brahman. Therefore, in the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, those who are twice initiated so as to become Brahmans must bear in mind their great responsibility to be truthful, control the mind and senses, be tolerant and so on. This is the personal application for all devotees who are second initiated. Then their life will be successful. It was such Brahmins that Nanda Maharaj invited to chant Vedic hymns, not ordinary Brahmins. Verse 13 distinctly mention Hinsa Man. The word Man referred to false prestige or false pride. Those who were falsely proud, thinking that they were Brahman because they were born in Brahman families, were never invited by Nanda Maharaj on such occasions. Verse 14 mention Pavitra Aushadhi. In any ritualistic ceremony, many herbs and leaves are required. These were known as Pavitra Patra. Sometimes there were Neem leaves, sometimes there were betel leaves, sometimes mango leaves, sometimes Ashwat leaves or Amliki leaves. Similarly, there were Panchagavya. Panchagavya we know. Panchashya. Pancharatan, also Pancharatan means 5 types of gems. But what is Panchashya? This is, do Google what is Panchashya. Although Nanda Maharaj belonged to the Vaishya community, everything...
Anna Prabhu, Anna.
Okay, Panchashya means 5 types of grains, right, okay. Belonged to the Vaishya community, everything was known to him. The most important word in these verses is Mahaguna, indicating that Brahmins were offered very palatable food of exalted quality. Such palatable dishes were generally prepared with 2 things, namely food grains and milk products. Bhagavad Gita says, therefore, enjoy the human society, must give protection to the cows and encourage agriculture, Go Krishi Go Raksha. Simply by expert cooking, and 100,000 of palatable dishes can be prepared from agriculture product and milk product. This is indicated here by the word Annam Mahagunam. Still today in India, from these 2 things, namely food grains and milk, hundreds and thousands of varieties of food are prepared and then they are offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasada Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Then the prasad is distributed. Even today in Jagannath Kshetra and other big temples, very palatable dishes are offered to the deity and the prasad is distributed profusely, cooked by the first-class Brahmins with the expert knowledge and then distributed to the public. This prasad is also blessing from the Brahmins or Vaishnavas. There are 4 types of prasad: Chaturvidha, salty, sweet, sour and pungent. Tastes are made with the different types of spice and the food is prepared in the 4 divisions called Charavya, Chushya, lahya and peya prasad. That is chewed prasad, that is licked prasad, that is tasted with tongue, and prasad that is drunk. Thus, there are many varieties of prasad prepared very nicely with grains, ghee offered to the deity and distributed to the Brahmins and Vaishnavas and then to the general public. This is the way of human society. Killing the cows and spoiling the land will not solve the problem of food. This is not civilization. Uncivilized men living in the jungle and being unqualified to produce food by agriculture and cow protection may eat animal. But a perfect human society advanced in knowledge must learn how to produce first-class food simply by agriculture and protection of cows. So here some little more elaboration is of the verses here by Laghu Vaishnava Toshni. Like Yashodanand also immediately performed actions using other people. This is described in first three verses are explained together. The first verse describes excellent position of Brahman. With the absence of hatred, untruthfulness, deceit and malice, a person becomes inclined to Dharma. By absence of the violence and pride, a person becomes inclined to liberation. It is said, Satyam cha samadarshanam. Truth is seeing all beings equally. As well, in defining the Vaishnava, it is said, Narayan paraha sarva kutaschan bibhyate swarga apvargaha narakasho api tulya arthak darshanyaha. Devotees solely engage in the service of Narayan, never fear any condition of life. For them, heavenly planet, liberation and hellish planets are all the same. The Brahmins are described as Satya Shilanam. This is maybe next verse, Satya Shilanam. Because to the meaning of the two verses quoted, it should be understood that these Brahmins were highest Vaishnavas. Therefore, actually Satya Shilanam, Satya is Krishna. Shilanam means those who have qualities like Supreme Lord. In some other places this verse is analyzed like that. Therefore, this quality being the best is mentioned separately. They bathe the child with the chanting mantra from the Yajurved, Rigved and Samved, using water mixed with the Sarvabhauma and Maha-Oshadhi herbs. Anam Mahad Gunan means rice with good taste and fragrance. These are also described by our Sanatana Goswami. What is this Maha-Oshadhi and Sarvabhauma? Aishwarya, Pancharatra, these are the things which are used in these Oshadhis. Their name written here, you can see Champak, Mustam, Maha-Oshadhi consists of Sahadevi, Vacha, Vyabhari, Bala, Ati Bala, Bala, Ati Bala. These are the two type of actually Vidyas which were given to the Ramachandra by Vishwamitra. These are the same words. Brahman chanted Punya, Punya Vachana and Swasti Vachana. Nanda Gop indicated Nand was the king of coward. So I think we end it here. Tomorrow we'll start from verse number 16. Today I'm a little slow, I'm sorry. But at least 17 we should have done. Anybody has a question or comment? You look in the question bank if there are some questions that need more discussion or explanation. Tomorrow, Krishna willing, from Vrindavan we will be in time, and in upcoming 3 days we will be at least in our schedule as it is there. We are 1 day behind. Thank you. Anybody, no question?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Recording stopped.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Priya. हाँ मैं ये बेचारे ने चार्ज कर पहले ये ना चार्ज ये ना चार्ज कर सा
नेट सही है
हले गयो
सही बाबा यार 1000 GB है यार हलेगा
एक दवा बंद थयो बोले हले
की बनते हो
फोन
फोन बनती से नेट में आऊंगे उहे में लगल है
ना नेट में नेट
बस बेइज्जती करी ना तार नेट री मुंह है तो नहीं नहीं होनी
ये नेट लगे ये में
नेट बंद है कोई लाइट में वो इन्वर्टर में फोन